As I've shared with y'all before, Trump did not take the oath of office as stipulated in the Constitution. And what we the people have to decide is, if a president didn't take the appropriate oath, is he the president? And the case can be made that no, he's not. The oath of office for the president is the only oath of office that's quoted clearly in the Constitution, in the U.S. Constitution. It was written the way it was for a reason. So I did the AI search in Google. How and why was the presidential oath of office written? And AI says the presidential oath of office was written during the 1787 Constitutional Convention to ensure the chief executive remains bound to the Constitution rather than acting as a monarch. Drafted primarily by James Madison and George Mason to strengthen the original, simpler version, it requires a 35-word vow to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. It's a 35-word vow. How and why the oath was written. Purpose. Why? The founders sought a mechanism to guarantee the president would honor the new government structure. It serves as a necessary constitutional requirement to officially transfer power and initiate duty. Origins. How? Proposed in late August 1787, the oath is found in Article 2, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution. We're going to look at it in a minute. Drafting and changes. Early drafts only required a pledge to faithfully execute the office. James Madison and George Mason added the crucial promise to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution to strengthen the commitment to the rule of law. Final wording. The final version, established in 1787 and first spoken by George Washington on April 30th, 1789, mandates, quote, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, unquote. That's the oath. That is the oath. And that is not the oath that Trump took. Here's a document from, it says, authenticated U.S. government information. This is at www.govinfo.gov. Constitution of the United States, Article 2. Before he enter on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation, quote, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, end quote. That's the oath. Now, listen to the oath that Trump took.
And repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
See, two things were added to the oath, which changed the oath drastically. Well, they weren't changed in the Constitution. But when you say, I, Donald John Trump, that's not in the Constitution. Why is that important? Because we have the all caps name, which represents the corporate self, and then we have the lower case name with capital first letters. Those two have different indications. Federal law says corporations are persons. There's a maxim of law that says notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. In other words, anyone within that corporate structure can act on behalf of the corporation itself. So when you have a corporate entity taking the oath, there could be any number of people acting as president behind the scenes who we don't even know. For example, maybe even Stephen Miller. We don't know what Donald J. Trump means. And that would be the case for anybody. I think that's the wisdom of the way the Constitution was written, in quotes, to make sure that when the oath is taken, it's I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of president. I, not Donald J. Trump or Ronald McDonald or anybody else. The individual, the man, the woman. That's what the Constitution says. And another change was made. So help me God. So help me God. That's not in the quote. And we're just now finding out the nature of this God that the elites serve, that the elites are in service to. It's not the one you're thinking. It might be the one that required Abraham to sacrifice his son. It might be the one in the Old Testament that at Passover, killed all those babies. It might be that one. So, we have a decision to make. I'm hearing state-level lawgivers and reporters and people all across America doing their best to honor the law, doing their best to stay lawful, doing their best to stay peaceful, knowing that the goal of this belligerent occupation is to get us to fight so that it might have a chance of gaining public support for declaring an insurrection or martial law. That has been a thing among the truther community for a long time. So we're doing a really good job, I think. Some of the protesters, especially in LA, are getting down to a point where it's not so peaceful. We've got to expel a belligerent occupation in a peaceful manner.